today is we're going to look at pushing.
Oh.
So pushing and grappling has some limited like value, right? Like it makes the foot go light, right? Therefore, I can attack base easier, etc. Go for single legs, etc. Right? It also does really well at forcing the body in a certain direction, whether that is back or cross, right? And so I'm looking for 3 main targets for pushing if I can accomplish it, right? One being the head, the other being the shoulder, and the last being the hip, right? The elbow is like a secondary because it is just the shoulder. When you press the elbow, you are pressing the shoulder. You're just pressing it at a distance. Does that make sense? And the same thing with the knee, right? If you end up pressing the knee away, you're actually just pressing the hip ineffectively, or not ineffectively, inefficiently, right? But to have the same effect. What does that look like? Well, if I'm here and I push his knee, right? You see how his knee has to turn away, and then I can push his hips fall, right? Exactly, right? So I'm just by proxy pushing his hip. So these are our 3 spots we're gonna look at: is head, shoulders, and hips, right? And we're gonna look at taking our hand and just open palm, no thumb, right? Well, you can do thumb if you'd like. I do hazard that you can break your thumbs, but it actually is really good for pushing to have an open hand, right? Contrary to popular belief, this is not a push grip, right? With no thumb involved. So some thumb will be involved when you push, right? How open you have your hand is up to you, right? This is a pushing grip. How do you do push-ups? We don't do push-ups like this, right? We're weak like this when we do push-ups, right? We're doing tricep thingies then, right? We push like this, right? That's why whenever you see someone who's like untrained, even when they're like going to go push someone, they push them, they go, boom, right? They open their hands, right? So what we're going to look at is actually using this for distance management primarily, right? So when he comes in to try to grab and make contact, I can push on this shoulder and break the contact, right? He can't establish grips very well, right? Because even if he touches it and I press, that grip is relatively nothing, right? So if I shelf like this, he's got a good grip. Very little grip, okay? So this is like that push factor. It's like I'm using this to either disengage, right, for his ability to clasp his hands, right, to move myself or to move him, right? I can use a push to move me. Note, keep that in your brain. That's a later thing.
I'm gonna be honest, when you did that, that makes me scared for a teeth coming in.
It can't, exactly. So a backwards push to go into a forward push, right? So like if he's trying to move me, right, he's trying to come in and grab me, I can move myself in the push versus him, right? Joe's a bigger man, right? So me forcing the push here is not always an advantageous thing. I can move myself sometimes much easier and prevent him from touching me in that aspect. So don't forget that you can always move yourself in a push, okay? Now, again, note, we are looking for 3 main targets, right? So he closes the distance. Let's say I'm late, right? He's here, right? So now I'm changing the angle of the push, right? Let's say I'm early to it. I can push on the elbow, or I can push on the armpit, right? Because if I'm here and I come out and I come in, right, he's trying to make contact with me. Right here, you see how his arm is here? Those are 2 pushes. 1, 2, if I want to push, close it up, right? Or I can, again, make the distance. He's trying to close up on me. Here, same concept, right? I can either push the hip this way, push it away. I don't recommend pushing it this way. Generates force. If I push on his hip like this,
Oh, yeah.
no. Push my hip.
Oh, okay.
It's already
Because
there.
it's almost chambering the kick, though, for you, too.
Sure, but
Yeah.
you're going to get one fast.
Oh, yeah, because
So like you push my hip.
we were talking about palm strikes the other day.
You're literally moving me into it.
Yeah.
Like, I literally just opened my hand. Push me.
Slap.
No, like think about it.
Yeah.
Now think if I was trying to hit you.
Yeah, because the shoulder's already chambered, the hip's already chambering. Yeah.
Right? So pushing, I think, has its greater aspect, not just in the disengagement, right? This is for like obviously winning the base battle, but also in striking. Okay, and the reason why is because if he's coming at me, right, and I push right here, right, I can keep that space, sure, right. But now that he's in, let's say he's in, he wants to grapple, right? He comes in. Boom. Make sense? So I'm gonna push, right, just like that, right? Tracking.
Even if you block that, that elbow's still gonna suck.
Yes, but I'm on the open and out right now, and he's really on the inside. So if he really wanted to get a hold of me, he probably could. Does that make sense? So like I do want to play on the inside with my pushing, but I was just showing for the sake of outside. All right. If we can, stay on the inside, always. Right? Because he can't hit me very well if I'm on the inside of striking, and I can still touch him pretty easily.
Come over, come out.
Making sense? Right, so if we can stay on the inside, grappling or striking, always best, right? So, for the grappling aspect, right, we don't want someone to basically be able to clasp their hands around us. This was our priority of stop, right? So he's coming to me, trying to clasp up, right? And right here is where I don't want, right? So one of my number one things is to do that, right? It's easy to make space, cut the angle, right? Break the grip. Well, we never let the grip get established. That's what we want to do, right? And that's where the pushing comes in. So if he's trying to clasp in, right? Even just this, right? That ability to come here and lift, right? Same key target, same key target, same key target, right?
And it opens that body up.
It does, yeah. So if we're thinking with strikes, then absolutely, right? But on pure grappling aspect, that's what we're looking at today. So just want you, starting out, just to basically touch. When he walks in, touch, right? He walks in, touch, right? He walks in, touch. Making sense? Easy? Perfect. Let's go play. So we just described how we can stop the grips from being closed around us, right, by touching. And we got some long arms, right? You can touch me, right? I can't really touch you very effectively, right? Tips of my fingers to the palms of your hands, right? So
That's all you need, though.
can be, right? So when we're seeing this, right, this is where the elbows become important, right? So my ability to push the elbow, right, is it going to expose both the shoulder and the hip to me, right? And the head, technically, but we're grappling, so that head's going to be hard to touch effectively, right, to cause the effect that I want, right? So when people reach out to touch you, you know, how would you normally do it, right? So when I'm here, you see how it's that? So you see how I can do these touches, right? You see I can't really effectively touch your face because of the angle of it, right? Now, why would we want to be able to push you still?
To break through that one's reach, right?
Not just their reach, right? So you're coming in, right? I'm here, right? If I want to off balance you, right? I can still ride, right? I push the frame out of my way. I change the angle of the frame, right? And I just ride it into the armpit and then press the armpit away, right? Making what? Your base
Right on your feet.
foundationally and strong, right? So our primary look at this for grappling is going to be making the base weak, right? So when we're going, right, I'm here, right? My ability to push you, boom, that, right? Makes that leg super light. I can do a single leg, etc., blah, blah, right? But I also do other things. Ooh. Leg sweepies, etc., walks to the back, right? You're gonna see this right there, right? You see how easy it was for me to get your weight to shift that way? But then, where was that? I was right on your feet, right? Because I walked in, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna basically push their weight away, push their weight away again, and you see how I'm like right behind you? I can push and trip, all kinds of stuff. So, what we're gonna look at now is the long, like we were talking about the other day. We're gonna look at the long, right, whenever someone's reaching out for us. We're gonna affect either the wrist or the elbow doing the push, right? And the second push, that is up to you where you choose, whether it is here, right? Or if you did it here, to push here, right? If we are pushing them back to center, attack the center.
Because can't they just like kind of face back out?
They can,
Yeah.
but, so,
Just a really quick
any step
sprawl.
that's predictable.
Is
Oh,
it
go ahead.
better for you to do it, is the question.
So think this way, right? So I push you this way, right?
Hi, hey Henry.
Yeah.
I know where the step has to go, and it's not planted. There's no power. You know what you can't do? You can't jump.
Oh,
Go ahead, sprawl.
You can,
mm.
it's
One
a-
leg.
No, like, so think about it.
Uh-huh.
Can you sprawl very effectively? Can you sprawl fast, powerful? On one leg? Not really.
Henry, try it.
Yeah, you should try it.
Well, so okay, well just think, bringing it down, right? Well, no, let's, okay, well, yeah, let's see.
Okay, so here. Could you get your hips away from me? Because the real goal, right, is to stop me from gaining access to your body. That's why we sprawl. Right? If my hands can close around your body, you didn't do jack shit.
You just compromised your own base by kicking your feet out.
And you lay down for it. Right? So, I don't really care if that's like, if that's what happens, cool. Cool. Right? But what I am looking at is the effect that I have on the base. Right? So if I'm here, right, that hand's in there, even if we do here, see how that leg gets light? That's what I'm looking for. Compromise the base. This has other applications. We'll show them in a minute. But I just want you to play that. Where you compromise the base, where someone's standing in a base, and you push them, and you cause their foot to shift. All their weight to move. Okay? This is offensively. We're going to use it strictly defensively. I am not going to move. You're going to try to move me, okay? What the fuck?
This is weird to watch, like,
Hang up the leg?
Yeah.
you can try. I keep getting worried he's gonna like palm strike you in the fucking head.
Dude, he's getting close.
He's pondering it. He's like, if I do this at like a third of the speed, Henry's gonna wake up looking at the lights.
Do you see it?
Yeah, that's.
Okay. We can use this to maintain our base, right? While people are aggressing us, and then when we use it, we're affecting their base. There's a moment when he's attacking me, right, and I do this.
His weight's.
His
not
base is
stable.
Is unstable. Right? I'm gonna stay in base, he's gonna try to attack. Not stable. Make sense? So when we can make these movements, right? He goes. And then we can choose to move if we'd like to. Right? So I just want you to do that. I want you to stand your ground. You can pivot. You can do a small step. But I want you to stay in a little box. Make sense? Okay, go play.
Hold on, I found my little box.